Hello and welcome. Welcome back, my friends. Habbage here. Excited to have you. We're going to get our world loading up. For those of you folks who were around for the last episode, let's try to enunciate our words. We are in a lush cave biome. We kind of ran around through some torches. We're going to have to work our way out of it. That's going to be a bit exciting. Um, Always a good time because there's a layer of water in the middle there, so we'll probably get flooded on a bit. It's just gonna be a good old wet, clean time of building our way up. But it should be spectacular. We gathered up a bunch of dripstone. I didn't really go out of my way with the azalea bushes and trees and stuff. I guess while we're here, um, let's get a few of the flowering kind. I'm going to show you guys, as we did back at our original base, why it's not a huge deal to be too worried about grabbing this stuff when you're down here. It is so easy to gather these things or create them, really, back in any place that we would want to grow up some of the trees and all that kind of stuff. So uh, don't sweat this, but we'll just go ahead and grab a few. We are so far from home, and that's part of what we'll probably be working on today is getting back to our new home. Okay, so here we are. Before we begin the crawl upwards, we're gonna pause here and I'm going to give you guys a treat for some special additional content. We're going to look at the biomes. Now, I went in and did pull uh, this list. And what we're going to do real quick is go through these and try to guess as many as we can that we know we've been to and mark them off. Because now before we do this, sorry, let's just go back in for anybody who's not aware. Back L for advancements. And here, adventuring time, we are now at 49 out of 50. So we've got one that remains. We haven't seen in our initial flights, and we haven't seen in this walk out to find a magnolia tree and then go down to a lush biome. So we've got one more, or lush cavern to get to. So uh, while we're probably just going to come across it, it would be good to know what we're targeting a little bit. So, um, because I don't know, and that's the biggest deal, I'm trying to be very careful here about what I'm showing or not. Get me back to that screen. Okay, so here we go. We know we've seen Badlands. We know we've seen Bamboo Jungle. We know we've seen beach. In fact, there's one right above us. We know we've seen Birch Forest. The oceans, I'm pretty much going to leave because I really wasn't paying much attention. Like, I know we've seen a lukewarm ocean because there was coral with stuff growing up out of the shallows. But otherwise, I think we'll leave all these deeps and revisit those. Dripstone caves, we found those in the last one. Eroded Badlands, those are those cool looking spires and stuff out of the Badlands. Flower Forest, we've been to. Forest, we've been to. Again, we've seen icebergs. We've seen frozen rivers. We walked on one and talked about the boats. Frozen Peaks, I think that was the glaciers one, so I think we've got that. I know we've got Grove because I talked about glades. Ice spikes, I don't know if we've seen that yet since. We definitely we've definitely seen them in this world, I want to say, but I don't know about here or since 118. Jagged peaks, maybe, but I'm not certain. jungle. Again, lukewarm, I'm pretty sure we have because we've seen coral and tropical fish, and I don't think it was particularly deep. Lush Caves were, if not in one, we're right next to it. Meadow, we got the Sound of Music. Mushroom Fields. Did we fly over any new mushroom islands? Apparently, um, I don't see mushrooms on this list, so I think both the two mushroom islands, beach and hills, or whatever they were, shore and hills, have just been replaced to mushroom fields. So I can't remember if we flew over one or not. We'll have to check it when we do. General Ocean, I plan to watch for all of those and kind of keep track. Old growth birch forest, for sure. It was one of the first ones we saw. Old growth pine taiga. We've climbed into some of those. But have we done both spruce and pine? I'm going to guess that we have, but let's just keep an eye on those until we know for sure that we've gotten both. Plains, river, savanna, savanna plateau, snowy beach. I think, yes, I know we have. Snowy taiga, yes. Snowy plains, that was another early one that we saw. Snowy slopes, those are ski hills right around the village. Sparse jungle looks cool. We've explored that. Stony shore, yes. It's got gravel in it too. Stony peaks, yes, right? I think so. Sunflower plains, we had those in the old one. I don't think they've changed. Swamp, yes. Taiga, yes. Now here, warm ocean. Is that different than lukewarm ocean? Again, I think we've seen all these, but we'll just kind of try to be certain, because that's the worst, is to assume you've seen something. Windswept Gravelly Hills was the first of the windswept that we saw, although now I see hills. I think we've gotten both of those. We've definitely got Savannah. Wooded Badlands. Yes. So what does this leave us with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 out of 50 that I'm not 100% certain on. I think most of these oceans, if we haven't gotten all of them yet, we're close. And we'll try to go back and clean those up, but I'm pretty confident that if it's a land one, which likely it's either ice spikes, mushroom fields, those two seem kind of likely to me. And then less so jagged peaks, and if it's not those, then yeah, we'll get it when we get it, because who knows at that point what I've assumed we've gotten but haven't made a mental note of, or it hasn't stood out, or I mistakenly thought, like pine was spruce and we'd had both of those. I'm not flawless. Also, these two give me just a bit of concern, so we'll kind of keep an eye out and just mentally check those off. Oh, we definitely have seen hills or gravelly hills, right? Some of those that have overlap, but there's not crazy extra jungle. As you'll notice, jungle is now down to just jungle, so when we start new worlds, we don't have to worry about like, oh, have we gotten to a jungle hills? Have we gotten to a jungle edge? Some of that kind of stuff. This was a list I pulled off the wiki and then just cleaned up and formatted, so hopefully we're set. Let's give it a save just to be careful, and then I am going to very carefully come back and turn that off so we're back to the game. And while we're here, I'm going to make note that we are at 9 minutes and 30 seconds, so we've got about 50 minutes left in this episode to get on back to home. From here, don't advise this really, but I think we're just going to do the straight up. I know. You'll see when it gets really bad if lava is pouring down and lighting up on our heads. But we can either do this to get up as quickly as possible, or who knows, like cut a new staircase up. I don't think so. So the plan, I think, will be once we get um, way up high here and see the sky, we'll just manage our chests one more time, and then strap on the wings and start the aerial portion of this trip, working our way back towards home. But as we do that, we'll probably try to swing to one side or the other, and see some new stuff, right? Just makes sense. All right, there's dirt. Maybe that's surface dirt. I don't know. Remember, we were down at like -8. I hear a spider, so it could well be nighttime. It is. Oh, 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 that was bad. I was like, let's get the sword out and get ready to fight. Oh, hey, we came up by the edge of our stairs. It's funny. All right, let's get out on this beach where we can see everything and then try to get our bed down. Oh, try not to miss the spider. Come on, dude. Okay, bed. It's not the bed. It's the bed. Anything else around? Sleep. Whew, made it. All right, now I know there's skellies in the water. Do this. Man, I don't like that new music, whatever's going on here. For one thing, it's really loud. It's new and different, that's cool, but I don't like that it just ignores our settings, volume-wise, right? Like, I don't mind having a little bit of the Minecraft music in the background, but we're down at 3% volume. Are you telling me if that was 97% louder, our ears wouldn't just be bleeding? Okay. Good there? I think so. I don't know why that is so difficult for me to... Like, we want to carry the extra supplies and ender chests in case we want to leave some around as we're building. Now, on this trip, maybe not the best plan. Well, we hadn't noticed that yet, had we? We kind of came around this way to get in. We did a big loop. But we sure hadn't noticed Sky Island trees. It's really the first just totally untouched deal. All right, so this is east, and we have gone. Let's get up a little bit. We have gone a long way east, as you can see. We are So I'm looking at the Z number actually. That should be about negative 23, I believe. Yeah, like 22.5, 23. So we're actually going the opposite way now, going to the south, and then we're around zero. So X, we've gone about 14,000 blocks to the east, and we're going to work our way back. But as you can see, I'm kind of just go game. Here we are back. I gotta reset my expectations to waiting for chunks. We're also pretty high up here. Um, Ocean. All right. Keep a mental list. Deep ocean. Ocean, deep ocean. Deep lukewarm ocean. Lukewarm. Oh my gosh. All right. ODODLOLO. Right. Deep lukewarm ocean. This is what we need. DO we already got. There was some Badlands? Whatever, little Badlands. Just a little island of them. I just love Badlands. When we're flying, you catch a little bit. I like to take note. So, south, as you guys may well be noting here, as that Z number goes lower, this would actually be heading back towards the tundra and everything else that we had initially made as our kind of back in 117 long range subspace bubble nether portal, where we went like 10,000 blocks in the overworld. So I don't know that we want to go all that way back, but we'll kind of be doing a south and west and then north and west progression, I think. But windswept hills. All right, that's good. So we know we still need gravelly windswept hills to be sure that we got that. Or windswept gravelly hills, whatever. Don't make me wait for these chunks, game. Dark forest, we knew we had that. Windswept forest hills. Lukewarm ocean, deep lukewarm ocean, deep ocean. We've seen all these ocean, beach. doesn't impact us too much now that we're just scanning for, and sadly, this is probably just going to pop on us before we really have a chance to register it, but the reason we kind of need to do it is that if we're walking or boating or any of that kind of stuff, getting cold ocean, CO, if we can limit it down to a couple of likely ones that we would then see from the land, if we're working on other stuff and see those in the distance, even if we're not flying, then we gotta, okay, yeah, aim for that one. Let's go cross it off the list, or that kind of stuff. It doesn't work as well with flying, as you guys can see, or probably have noted in your own worlds or mine or anybody else's. When you're flying and exploring, it's you're going to be seeing that edge all the time, so it's tough to navigate or go, like, hey, I'm up at 285 vertical blocks, and look out in the distance there. There's ice spikes. Let's go cross that off the list. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to work that way. But we cover a lot of ground this way, so it, in terms of getting home, getting back, it's good. Oh, hey, snow. Stony Shore. Forest, back to rain. Meadow. Looks like we got a little sunrise coming here. That's another awesome thing about flying. Except for when you're really looking at stuff, it's nice to be able to just go through the night. I wouldn't mind finding a mushroom field somewhere kind of close to where we're setting up shop here, because the mushrooms that we did find to breed were so far from anything close by. Trying to go almost straight up with the rockets so that we don't shoot over too much terrain, or jump ahead of the load. Jungle, plains, jungle. Don't really want to go north yet. Just trying to kind of check the speed there, so with the jungle, it's going to be slower to load, right? That's just a part of the deal. Oh wait, that was sunset, man. thought all that rain and snow was kind of our. Uh, okay, we are. Oh, oh, come on, slow up. What? Oh, come on. This rain and night is absolutely messing with my... Like, are those the clouds? Yeah. Deep ocean. Yeah, this is a little unsettling. Lukewarm ocean, stony shore. Snow actually is... Oh, I was going to say, the snow is actually kind of nice for watching the loads. Deep ocean. This is pretty miserable. I got to admit. Flying in a dark night with rain as I just look at the debug screen for... I'm doing this because I want to get back. It is a big reason for it. We've done some good exploring. Oh my gosh. Alright. I'm trading out so much elevation or altitude. Man, looking at the numbers is really distracting from the... Old growth pine. All right, remember that. We got pine for sure. Oh, I don't like it when those snowflakes stop moving. Um, so we haven't seen old growth spruce. There's some land. Flower forest. I'm pretty sure we'd already seen that, but with the meadows. Not a guarantee. There's the meadows. Oh, look, beautiful meadows. If this rain could quit. That would be cool. Forest, plains. So as long as we don't have much to look at, let's chat, guys. A few episodes back at some point, I was talking about the movie Disney's Jungle Cruise, which they've been hyping like crazy. I think it's the current like Redbox radio ad. They'd been doing the James Bond movie kind of right when it came out in theaters, but they've switched now, and so now it's Jungle Cruise, and it's also I have Disney Plus, so um, I've seen it there. It hadn't really crossed my mind, but I was wondering like, okay, is this basically just African Queen again? No, no, it's not. You guys, most of you already know that or knew that. And we're just laughing at me for being hopelessly out of date. But again, I appreciate Disney. I like all they do. Some of the series and the now that they own the Marvel and the Star Wars and all that kind of stuff, they know their business. They're getting more demographics than just what would be quotes kids movies. Um, but they also knew that hey, kids are going to be much more interested with what the Jungle Cruise was than what the African Queen had been. But it is still kind of that similar premise. But I loved some of the throwbacks to the old Jungle Cruise boat rides. I I've never been to Walt Disney Land. As a kid, a couple times I went to Walt Disney World and Epcot Center. There was no Universal Studios back then. Um, but old growth spruce, I saw spruce. We can go back here in case. There it is. Okay, so we've got both of those. We don't have to worry about them. Um, but yeah, I remember taking the little boat ride thing around, and basically all the concocted thrills on the actual boat ride for the tourists was pretty good. I liked it. All in all, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty good. Again, you got to be in the right mood um, as an adult, right? It's a little silly, and um, I don't know. I much likened it to Pirates of the Caribbean for the obvious reasons. There was a Pirates of the Caribbean ride too. It's another one of those built out of the rides um, kind of deals, and those rides go back to earlier even than my era Disney stuff that were shows or whatever back in the day. Back when live action. Was there a movie Pirates of the Caribbean? There was definitely like Robinson Crusoe or I don't know, whatever the Blackbeard one was. So yeah, they kind of they got a good cycle going, and it can be on decades. But yeah, they make or have a popular movie type thing that spins into a ride. Some kids grow up remembering the ride more than the actual movies, which became dated. And then eventually those movies pop up, and like, oh, that was that movie based on the ride. So eventually, everything becomes a chicken and the egg kind of deal. But yeah, so not African Queen at all. Although certainly the romance idea of that continued. The um, kind of folks that couldn't get alive at all, or get along at all, um, inevitably being drawn together, the opposites attract kind of deal. And not that they were that opposite, really. They had a lot of similarities. We are now way up above biome loading height. Let's see if we can do kind of a gradual descent. And I'm just circling now, so we'll kind of get it back over to southwest, and then try to slow our descent here just a bit. Alright. Ocean. Too fast. More ocean. At least, hey, we're getting back to daylight. It's still rainy. Thank you, game. Oh, come on, load. It's just ocean. I think we want to get to about 7,000 on the X, and then we'll turn back to the northwest as our dominant direction. Because I think we're at about 14 to start, so that should be about halfway. Desert. Let's go take a dip low. Maybe we can find some temples to go into. We haven't had a lot of just adventure-y fun. And if it wants to be all rainy for the time being, that will help us clear out. A little less efficient in skill, but this is why I was just sitting high. It's almost worse to be low trying to look at the terrain. Some of it's beautiful, but the loading is just something to contend with. All right. Sorry for the yawn. Sorry for the... We knew we were going to make this flight, but this is why I was exploring on the ground. I think it lends itself to more adventure and excitement. We can do lots of these, but we've been out. We did very well. We got that Sound of Music in the meadow biome in the little taiga village, which was cool. And what did we have? 4 when we 6 when we started out? 6 or 4 biomes left, and we've clearly gotten the 3. Now we're just trying to figure out what's left for us. So we got it's about 400 blocks left to go. If I can maintain the right direction and altitude, because I almost saw a cow there. We are dark forest, though. So as soon as I've said that, perhaps we should do a bit of scouting for mansions. That would be a thrill. Ensure a little bit of fun. But it is just maddening to do this, and I don't say this with any real sincerity. It's just kind of the conspiracy theorist dream. You know, everybody knows that that from a Minecraft perspective, Java is not where it's at. There were loads of stipulations on the Java version when Minecraft bought that because Minecraft itself had originally been designed to be if you pay this price when it's offered, you get the game for life. That's how I and everybody else is playing now at the same set price, and there's no subscription. There's very relatively little add-on combat content in the Java game. But this is one of the challenges of Java. I've watched enough. Oh, please, the rain is done. That will be a huge help. All right, so back around through west, southwest. We are just about to our turning to the northwest mode. Yeah, with a little daylight and a little fly in here. Oh boy, look at our wings. Okay. That's kind of amazing that we burned through the wings on a stack of rockets. Oh, there's gold block. Let's come down here. This will be a good place to do our swap. Um, yeah, I'm very, very surprised at how fast those wings went. They do have unbreaking on them, and just to have one that I forgot, without really using a lot of rockets. Maybe the rain and snow all nights took its toll. Unfortunately, we don't have to do as much with inventory management. This is annoying. Let's get rid of that while we're here. Take those for their XP. That. Those. Why? And where was it? Here. We want to be cautious that that doesn't end up in any lava. Alright. Go. We kind of set down here. So, fresh wings. 2 stacks of rockets. And now... Oh, this is probably a part of it, that you use a lot more rockets when you're flying low as opposed to up high. Alright, so we are now at 65, and we want to go north and west now until we get back to home. But yeah, we'll maybe do a bit more sleeping. Ooh, jungle. Great. There goes our loads. And it's sunset time. Yeah, this all just feels like 1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of stuff. Oh, I missed it. Oh no. Oh, God. That didn't work well at all. Bad landing. Not smooth. Let's sleep before the creepers come. Before I forget to break my bed or drop it. Let's do this and just check the time. 43. So we still may. I don't think we're going to make it all the way back home, but. Do alright. Okay. I'm not terribly sad to see this be sparse jungle. Oh. Yeah, so anyway, the conspiracy theory, of course, is that part of the oh, that's Badlands. I thought that was all lava in the good Badlands. Let's get to Badlands. They'll load faster and they're beautiful. I think I made the comment at some point. Some of the wooded Badlands are not so woody. Here it's wooded, but it seems to spill over to some of that blending. Somebody I was watching that was starting a new world was just out exploring, and we're hitting many chests on the surface, the mine stuff that the Badlands can have. So there was a gold mine kind of on the surface and lots of tunnels and just minecart chest after minecart chest after minecart chest to go digging into for treasures. I don't see any of that here yet. Good job, game, though, on distracting me from the... Minecraft is just, it's overwhelming Java so that everybody gets forced away. I know that's not the case. They understand that modding and all that keeps an audience engaged that's way beyond. And I would love if they could boost revenue streams a little bit within Java. But sadly, there is just a limitation on Java itself, and that comes, I have a lot of affinity for Java itself from where my career started, and I kind of got out of college at the late '90s and into the world. And Java was sitting. Nobody knew what it was, but it was sitting underneath a lot of the internet content that was. The internet was going from these very much text colors. It was internet you would recognize today, but you'd look at it and go, "Oh my gosh, what?" This is what people went to, just a bunch of text hyperlinks on pages that would have a title, and there would be some little very much bit type graphics scattered around. Got to check that out, right? Got to get a picture of this, honestly. It's a cold desert. All right, let's just go see if it's got. Nope, no villagers underneath. Wish they would put chests in those. Not even that they need anything in there, but just to drop the obligatory broken pieces of carpet. There's also the chance that this is a demon bunny. You're just an albino with the pink eyes. You're not coming after us. Okay, that was cool. Let's get our visibility back and force ourselves to look at more stuff. All right, checking off oceans again. Warms and deep warms. We haven't seen any of the... Man, that is so cool. Maybe we should hang this way. Oh, is this eroded? Are we going to get a bigger section of eroded Badlands? Just a little clip. I love the eroded Badlands. They're one of my favorites. But not much here. Dude, look at that. Just variety of colors and stuffs. So cool. Um, just had that little like shiver down the back of my spine. Not anything game related discomfort. Like just I don't know. It's kind of like a almost an itch, but not really. Ooh, it's still there. We're gonna have to do this because this is cool. I'll get a few shots around here. I need to go further out on my photography. And then kind of up. Okay. Enough of that. Now we can come back over here. So, what was it? Ice spikes, I think, was one that we were thinking of. It would be cool if we found some of that. I'm assuming it wouldn't just abut, although I guess it totally could, like a jungle or anything like that. But when I see the snow, I'm like, maybe it'll transition into ice spikes. Clearly it doesn't have to, as we are now in a lukewarm ocean. What's this? More snowy. Yeah, I really think it's either ice spikes or um, the mushroom fields. And I wish I could remember if we'd seen either. Both are equally likely. I can think back and be like, well, I know what they look like. Maybe we saw that out when we were flying over. Um, I think it would be more fitting for this world if it was mushroom fields because of how hard we worked. Um, but again, I just don't. Oh, look at this. All right, let's give it a little time to load. This is tall, tall Badlands. Is that a lush cave? It is lush cave in Badlands? You kidding me? Let's get another. Oh, wasn't what I was trying to do. I was trying to get ready to take a picture, not take one. Should we be daring with flying? I kind of want to go in there. Oh, look at it. So cool. We got loads of rockets. I don't want to lose this world. Up and out. So cool. Oh, oh, now we're in a world of hurt. Awesome. All right, I think I've photobombed enough. So cool though, and I think we got plenty accidentally with debug screens on them. If we ever want to come back and do something with that, we can. That was very cool and beautiful though. Um, and I love. Here we are, like, oh, we're flying through a nighttime rainstorm. This is miserable. Speaking of which, I think we're going to land here and sleep. Check our time again. 53, 54. There's our double bed placement. All right. So cool. So we are down to 4,000 blocks on the X, and we need to gain 8 going back. So just, a little more north than west at this point, I think. That was awesome. Seeing that lush cave in the mesa or the Badlands, very awesome. Oh, more Badlands. Look at that! Oh, they're up to the clouds. Oh, it's so awesome. up above the clouds. That could be more lush, too. More lush. So is this a thing? Was this what I should have been doing all along? Just curious. Um, Grabbing any badlands we could find and exploring for lush caves, or are they just more visible there? What is this? This is just stony shore. Hey, that's why we do it, and it's why I did not go watch a ton of videos. Um, as I've said all along, I don't blame anybody for being excited and wanting to go try things out in the snapshot when they're new. Um, in fact, I thank you all for doing it because you certainly go out and find all the stuff that goes wrong. And you know, I am kind of tongue in cheek complaining about the loads and all that. Look, the amount of content that we're getting in all these new biomes. Yeah, flying's going to be hard pressed in Java to keep uploading. And this isn't because of my laptop. I'm watching this happen in everybody's content that converted a world that's established and going forward. You just, you know, you can't expect that the world can generate this much height and content within it and be rocketing over at full speed and expect it to keep up. It's the game is designed to only have the so much RAM allocated to it. So, and the code itself can only keep up with so much data, and that's where I talk about how I had a soft spot for Java. You um, when you're working with something that was used to create a game many years ago and has grown up with it, there are limitations there, and that's going to be something that you just can't. Inevitably it's going to go. The fact that they're developing in Java and keeping all this going and relevant is amazing. Thank you so much, Minecraft Mojang. I'm sure nobody here is watching that has any affiliation, but every time you come up with these updates, they're amazing. This one particularly so. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out, watching all these videos. I hope you're having just a wonderful time in 118. And I can't wait to share more of our return to base and explorations. And we're going to do next, I think, at some point fairly quick. I think once we get back, which will take as much of that episode, however much we find to explore and look around. Once we get back, we'll kind of be okay. We've got biomes, and we're gonna go. Oh, speaking of which, shoot, we're close. Let's save and quit here. Just as we're wrapping up here, understand I want to thank you all. Oh, yeah, it's showing. So let me get here. All right, we did Cold Ocean for sure. We did not do DCO. We did not do DFO. We did do DLO. We did DO. We didn't see any of those one way or another. Did we do just... Yeah, we did regular ocean. And we did not do WO. So, crossed off a few. 1, 2. This is a strong candidate. That's a strong candidate, but we didn't see any jagged peaks either. We did answer some of these questions. We were right. We'd gotten both of those, and we saw at least the windswept hills, I think. So, getting there. And we'll just keep an eye out continually for some of these extra ocean types to cross off. I don't think it's going to be those, but it could be. And really keep an eye out for that. And that, because I think one or the other is going to be our culprit. So we won't work too hard on that, though. In the next, once we get back, aside from inspiration hitting to, kind of improve our circumstances as far as living arrangements and stuff to make it a little bit more like a home, we'll probably go back down into the depths, try to identify a good place for a portal to bring through a strider, do all that, and try to figure out where we want to do a big old hole from way up high to way down low and start working on that too. So anyway, let's get this out of the way, swap it for that. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out and being patient with the long flight and explorations looking for the biomes, but we'll kind of park that. We've done very well. We got one outstanding, but we'll maybe just pick that up amongst other stuff, unless we just get down to being left for it. So I've really enjoyed the last few episodes exploration. Hope you guys have too. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye now.